Hey, Justin with Sinnard Technologies here, and if you're watching this video, you might be wondering how much a business website should be costing you and what you should expect to pay. I mean, do you use $500 too cheap for a website? Is $10,000 too expensive for a website? We kind of go into the costs and explain what you should be expecting from a website being developed for your company. So how much should a website really cost? And it really varies depending on what you need. And some of the biggest factors are like your number of pages, because each page you make, we're going to have to spend some time developing it, making it look the same as the other pages. Do you want a custom design or versus a template? I almost always recommend a template, something that looks nice, that's good for your business because it speeds it along much faster. But a custom design would be, I have to spend, time going through, finding things that you like, and then creating the custom design in Figma. Those are all extra hours that are being added to your website design. Do you want contact forms? Contact forms will have to be custom developed in the website. And of course, we have to work with you a little bit too, because in order to do the contact form, either we're going to make it loaded maybe on an admin page, or do you want me to send it to an email, in which case we have to have some email set up. So that takes additional time. Do you want a blog functionality? You want to be going to their blog. Nowadays, it's handy to have AI features to where you can automatically write blogs for you. Do you want that added? So that's additional cost and additional time that will go into making the blog. Do you want online booking, right? Do you want customers to go on your site, maybe your auto detailer, and they can go on your site, click it, and then schedule an appointment. They can see your availability. And schedule an appointment. That'll obviously takes more time to build. Is it going to have e-commerce features where they can order online? Do you have customer accounts? Do you want this to integrate into your, into your payment system? Do you want me to SEO optimize it? There's just tons of things that go into building a website. I'm going to say for the most businesses, especially if you're just starting out, I do have a starter pricing package. It starts at $200, and essentially it's a one-page landing page that you go to, and it has a contact form, or maybe you can get a phone call, and it'll look nice and get you started. If you want to add a blog into that, I charge $200 more to get that set up for you. And then if you wanted online booking systems, you can do for anywhere from $300 to $999. But in total, it shouldn't cost more than $2,000 for that, especially in the dawn of AI here. It speeds it along considerably. So what are some typical website price ranges you should be expecting when you go ahead and get your website built? As I stated previously, I have a starter website program that starts at $200. That's actually $199, but it's $200, right? And it goes upwards to $500 if you want to get the blogging features. And generally, when you first start out, you tend to want a landing page plus blog. Sometimes you just want the landing page, and that's fine too, and that only costs $200. This is great for someone that's just getting started in business. They want to be found on the internet. They have a link to a website from their business, Google business listing. That is something that is for them, right? Now we're talking about a small business website where you want that more functionality. You might have your services pages, your about page, your contact page, and you're doing some SEO basics that can range from $500 to $2,500. A custom business website where you're adding in a lot of features and a lot of integrations can cost anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000 plus, right? And I mean, this is like a complicated website, right? So you got the blogging system, you got bookkeeping, you got contact forms. You might have custom landing pages for different Google ad campaigns. Maybe you have e-commerce in it to where they can make payments, and it has to integrate with Stripe or Square or whatever you use. These will be the ones that get a bit more pricey because you have all these features that are involved in it. A custom web application generally is going to be $10,000 plus. I just made a quote for a customer of mine was be $15,000. This is not even for it's a business, but it's more for he wants a custom app that's going to produce him money, and I offered him that, and we decided the $15,000 will be the website because he wants mobile apps later too. So I also have to build an API, and essentially what an API is a way for more than one application. So you have your website and you have your two mobile apps talk to a central area to share the data with the rest of those apps. So he had that custom system inside there, and he wants apps later, so we have to have the API ready later on for him to be able to use those mobile apps. So $15,000 was not unreasonable, and it's actually a great price for something like that. So what should be included in the website, right? A good website, just to start, even a starter website, should be mobile-friendly design. So it should be working great on a phone, and it should also work great on a desktop. That's the standard nowadays. I know a lot of people push it like this is this big new thing still, but that's the standard. It should be good on both your mobile phone, and it should be good on your desktop, right? It should be fast loading. I believe last time I read, if it takes more than 2 seconds to load, most customers will just hit the back button and go to a different website. They're that impatient, so it should be loading fast, which custom code is great for fast loading because we don't have a bunch of bloat. We just have what you need in it, so it loads really fast. You're going to want an SSL certificate. It's pretty standard nowadays, so you're going to register your domain. We're going to put an SSL certificate on it, so all connections is encrypted for the customers that go to your website. You're going to want a contact form. Obviously, if you're a business, you're going to want them to have some way to contact you, so either a contact form, maybe even the phone number there, or email, that maybe you can just click it. But you want to wait for them to contact you. You also maybe want Google Maps integration, because maybe like the distance is a thing for them and they want to see how to get to your business. You're going to want some type of analytics in it. It's really nice to have analytics because you want to be able to track which pages are performing better and which pages are not performing better, and you can work on the stuff that does work and go from there. You're going to have social media links for all your socials. Why is that? Your backlinks always work for SEO, and you want them maybe to subscribe to a different source, and you can reach out to them maybe through Facebook or Instagram or whatever you use for your social media platforms. And then you should have a clear call to action. You go through, explain what you do, let them know what you do, and then it should be clear. Fill out this form or call this number. You want a clear call to action for to make sure the customer can contact you. So what are some of the hidden costs you can expect when you decide to get a website created for your business, right? One of them is domain registration. That's going to be a yearly cost. Essentially what that is your little, mine is sinnardtechnologies.com. Yours might be yourbusiness@.com. Whatever that name is, it has to be registered. It's generally about $20. We can get that registered for you. Yearly, you have hosting costs. I do charge $29 a month for hosting, and I'll host it for you to keep it as simple as possible. You have ongoing maintenance. This one, depending on how complicated your website is, it won't be so bad. If it's like a starter website or something like that, it's probably going to be you mainly asking me to change something for you. So that would be like maintenance, or maybe you want another landing page made, and I can create that for you. Stuff like that. You're going to have content updates. Once again, that goes back to whatever you're going to want changed, depending on how complicated the website is, right? Professional photography. If you want to have custom images, maybe you want someone to take a picture of your crew at the office, maybe you take pictures of the office, maybe you take a picture of the building, whatever you want. There's going to be photography costs there. I think a lot of stuff can be covered with AI nowadays, so that can be a lot simpler, but if you wanted me to do it, obviously that'd be additional cost, or you can do it yourself too, right? You have copywriting, you have premium plugins, right? And that would be like, I have to charge for these things because inside this framework, there's a framework I use where my license is $10,000 a year. So when you want to use those type of features, I do have to pass those costs off to you, as I have to pay for that really expensive software for whatever it is, like graphs and things like that. And then of course you want to do your email hosting. I always recommend just going with like Google Workspace for that nowadays, as it's pretty cheap. It's like $20 a year, and you can get a domain email set up, so it's not too bad. But some of the hidden costs that people don't realize too. So there is monthly fees. If you want things changed, you're gonna have to do it. Sometimes there is maintenance, and sometimes maybe your website's on a certain type of .NET framework, and then there's an update that goes through that breaks something, and we might have to fix it, right? Things like that are hidden costs that people don't think about with the website. So the next question you need to ask yourself is, do you want to build it yourself? And this day and age, building a website for yourself is definitely possible. There's things like WordPress, Squarespace, Wix. So it's definitely possible to build it yourself. I think it comes down to, do you have more time than money, right? Sometimes you want to save time and just pay someone to do it. Sometimes you want to save money and then do it yourself. I would say the downside of it is, even if you use a WordPress, Square, Wix, decide to code it yourself, maybe with some AI, you're still going to have a learning period. So I'm going to have it done faster, and it's going to be done right, as someone with 15 years experience coding. But yeah, it generally comes down to, you have more time than money, and then even then I argue at $200 to have a website built now by someone that's professional, who's been doing it for years. It's not that much money either to get a little starter website going, and you can build on that later. But that would be up to you if you want to do yourself. Once again, like, more time than money, or do you want to learn how to do it all? That'll take extra time as opposed to someone just doing it for you. And another thing you should consider when you're making a website is the return on investment versus cost, right? So an example being, like, let's say you just go with the $200 website, right, and maybe you sell an additional, 10 products that are $30 a piece, right? That first month, you're going to end up having it, pay for the initial cost. And then all you have to do for the hosting fee was sell one more item a month, and it takes care of that. Everything else is profit after that. So there's a return on investment by having a good quality website. If you have $1,000 job, you're going to do, and you end up getting that's a huge return on investment. So you got to think of that in too, as part of your plan with your website. So how would you go about not overpaying for a website? The first thing you want to do is maybe get multiple quotes on what you're looking for, and to see if you can get a better price. Ask what's included. If they do it for $500, that might include way less stuff for the site that's $600, and the extra $100 might be the reason why it's a bit more expensive, because they give you more inside the deal, right? Make sure they own their own website, right? Check their previous work on what have they worked on previously, and you can take a look at that, and ask about ongoing costs, right? Sometimes what they'll do, I've even seen some people advertising building the website for free, but when you actually dig in deeper, they get you on hosting costs, like an incredible hosting cost, like $300 a month, right? So in that year, you're going to end up spending $3,600 in hosting to get it for free. So there's all kinds of little hooks they usually get you on. And I remember even me exploring like what other people were charging. I clicked on it, and stuff wasn't even working on their website, much less to charge you for free. So you got to take that into account of what the quality is also in your price. But in general, there's not many people that can beat my startup price of at $200, right? It'd be $200, and then it's just $29 a month for hosting, and it includes quite a bit for what you're going to be paying for. So why are some websites so cheap, right? In general, a lot of times they're using generic templates. I remember even when I first started learning websites and coding and stuff like that, I got into it. WordPress was just starting up, and it was a big thing to just be able to install it, and then you click, then you search for a theme for it, and you click it, and then it just installs that theme, and then all you have to do is update your text on your website. Those are such things as generic templates. I'm going to say it's not necessarily a problem if you're looking for something quick and cheap, right? That's what it's there for. Even my starter up website will be using templates. They're just a different type of templates for a framework I use called Bootstrap. But it definitely speeds it along the process and gets you up and running quicker than me having to make a custom design for it, right? Once again, going back to the other part of the video, it just takes more time, right? So I'm going to have to sit there and I'm going to open Figma, I'm going to make designs, I'm going to make wireframing it. I have to communicate with you and check if that's what you want, you like that, or you don't like that. So that tends to add the cost on, right? They're doing minimal SEO work, right? They're not really taking a, they didn't put any keywords in the header. They didn't, add a nice title text for it. There's tons of things you can quickly do to get SEO optimized for your website, right? They have no optimization for different types of phones. They have little customizations. It goes back to the original problem. So sometimes they're not as skilled because they're using some things like Wix, WordPress, or some other way to quickly build a website without coding. You're not going to be able to customize those. There's going to be times you're going to ask, hey, can we have the website do this, right? but they don't know of any package or how to install a package that does that certain thing you're asking for. So you're going to have way less optimizations on something like that as opposed to what I have, custom code, where we can actually make what you like, right? And a lot of times they have very limited support. Once again, it's going back to them not knowing how to code, right? They're going to only be able to do whatever someone else has coded up already and have pre-packaged that they can just install on your website. So my approach would be, for most businesses, I always recommend my starter package for their custom website. It's the $199. We find a nice design you like or template, and we use that template within the code so we can quickly build it and get it running and operational and have your customers begin to contact you immediately. And what's great about that, we can build upon it. Like I said, you can add in blogging for another $199, and then you can add in like scheduling and things like that later. And it's going to be super easy to add it because it's custom code, and I'm not limited on what can be built. We can build what you need for your business, right? I also do mobile apps. I do business software. I do solutions that grow with your business, pretty much. And the best part about that, especially with custom code, is that you already have that cloud service space. I'm going to have a dedicated server for you or app service for you. And let's say later on you decide you want to start getting mobile apps, get mobile orders. We can just use the same services, the same server, and we can set it up for you, as opposed to like WordPress or Wix or things like that. You're going to be very limited. They're going to be built off probably PHP, and they're going to be a different database engine in the background, and it's very coupled together, right? As opposed to mine, where it's custom code. All the services are built the same way, and it's ready to grow into other types of software you may need in the future. And it's going to save you money in the long run. All right, I'm curious to hear what kind of businesses you all own and what you're looking to have made. If you want to go in the comments and leave a question, if you have any questions, or just leave it a comment what type of business type you are that's watching this video. And I'll try to answer any questions you may have. If you're looking to get a website built, just go to sinnardtechnologies.com and hit the contact me form, and we can get together and discuss what you're looking for. Otherwise, I think I covered what I wanted to cover for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I can make more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and you have a good day. Bye now.